You're furious, shaking with rage, and then the tears start, and suddenly you hate yourself even more. Because now you can't even be angry properly. Now you look weak, emotional, like you're the one who's hurt when you're actually the one who's livid. And the person you're angry at? They see the tears and think they've won. But what if those tears aren't weakness? What if they're actually a sign of something much more intense happening in your brain? Let's talk about the people who cry when they're angry, not sad, not hurt, furious. And there's real neuroscience behind why this happens. First, understand this. Your nervous system doesn't have separate channels for different emotions. When you experience intense emotion, any intense emotion, your body activates. The same physiological response. Your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure rises, stress hormones flood your system. Your body goes into overdrive, and when the intensity reaches a certain threshold, your body needs a release valve. For some people, that release is yelling, punching walls, slamming doors. But for others, it's tears. Not because they're sad, but because their nervous system is so overwhelmed by the intensity of the anger that it needs an immediate, physical outlet. And crying is one of the fastest ways your body knows how to release that pressure. Think of it like a kettle boiling. The anger is the heat building. And the tears? They're the steam. It's not weakness. It's overflow. Your body is literally trying to regulate itself before you explode. Here's what's happening in your brain. When you're angry, your amygdala, the emotional center, lights up. It sends distress signals throughout your body. Your sympathetic nervous system activates. Fight or flight kicks in. But here's the thing. If you can't fight and you can't flee, your body gets stuck in that activated state. And when arousal stays too high for too long, your parasympathetic nervous system intervenes. It tries to bring you back down, to calm you, to regulate you. And one of the ways it does that? Crying. Tears activate your parasympathetic response. They literally calm your nervous system. So when you cry from anger, your body is performing an emergency shutdown. It's not betraying you. It's protecting you. But here's where it gets worse. Society tells you this is wrong. You're taught that anger should look a certain way. Strong, controlled, intimidating. And tears? Tears make you look vulnerable, weak, like you're losing. So you feel shame on top of the anger, and that makes everything worse. Now you're angry at the situation and angry at yourself for crying. You're stuck in a loop. The anger intensifies, the tears increase, the shame deepens. And the person you're confronting? They often use your tears against you. Why are you crying? I'm not the one being mean, or worse, calm down. You're being too emotional. And that invalidation? That makes the anger even more intense. Because now you're not just angry about the original issue. You're angry that your legitimate rage is being dismissed as too emotional. Here's another layer: frustration. Often, angry tears come when you feel powerless. When you're right and you know you're right, but you can't make the other person understand. You can't make them see. You can't make them listen. And that helplessness is infuriating. You have so much to say, so much you need them to hear. But the words aren't coming out right. Or they're not landing. Or you're being talked over. And the gap between what you're feeling and what you can express becomes unbearable. So your body cries. Because it doesn't know what else to do with all that pent-up, unexpressed rage. Studies show that people who cry, when angry, often have high emotional intelligence. They feel things deeply. They care intensely. And when something violates their values or hurts someone they love, the response is proportionally intense. It's not that they're weak. It's that they're wired to feel things at a higher volume. And here's what most people don't understand. Those tears don't mean you've stopped being angry. They don't mean you're giving up. You're still furious. The tears are just your body's way of not combusting. But because tears are culturally coded as sadness or defeat, people misread what's happening. They think you're hurt when you're actually enraged. They think they've upset you when you're actually ready to destroy them. And that misunderstanding makes the whole thing worse. Because now you're crying, and you're not being taken seriously. So what do you do about it? What do you do about, first, stop hating yourself for it. Your body isn't betraying you, it's regulating you. Those tears are keeping you from doing something you might regret. They're releasing the intensity before it becomes destructive. That's not weakness. That's your nervous system protecting you. Second, learn to name it. Out loud. In the moment. I'm not sad. I'm angry. These are anger tears, because once you name it, people can't misinterpret it. They can't dismiss you as too sensitive when you've clearly stated, I'm furious. Third, give yourself permission to feel both, to be angry and to cry. They're not opposites. They're not contradictory. You can be absolutely livid and crying at the same time. Both are valid. And finally, understand this. The people who weaponize your tears against you are the problem, not you. If someone sees you crying from anger and uses it to dismiss your point, they're manipulating you. Don't let them gaslight you into thinking your anger isn't real just because it comes with tears. Your anger is valid. Your tears are valid. Both can be true at once. Crying when you're angry doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you irrational. It doesn't invalidate your rage. It just means your body is experiencing such intense emotion that it needs a physical release. And that release is tears. Some people throw things. Some people yell. Some people shut down. You cry. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're losing the argument. It means you care so much that your body can't contain it. And honestly, that kind of intensity, that kind of passion, that's not something to be ashamed of. That's power, even when it looks like tears. If you cry when you're angry, you're not broken. You're not too sensitive. You're not weak. You're just someone who feels things intensely, and your body is doing its best to help you survive those feelings. So stop apologizing for your tears. They're not a bug. They're a feature. And anyone who tries to use them against you, they're the problem, not you. Never you.